uphill battle for them.
All right, we'll take a look at our map picks and bans, put them up on the screen, as we'll start off with our 2 maps to remove, Clubhouse and Coastline. NIP played Clubhouse last week. Coastline was played by Immortals, so narrows it down to 5. No Villa, no Bank. NIP really don't want to test the waters in our newest Pro League map just yet, at least. Of course.
Nope, no Consulate either. That leaves Oregon and Border, the 2 current classics. And Oregon it will be.
And this is a great map for NIP.
Yeah. This is one where we were talking earlier about Sexy playing on that shield downstairs. This is one where Julio kind of originally pioneered that strategy.
If you don't ban Blitz against NIP, you're...
Yeah. Interesting, though, that the win rates, in this case, do favor Immortals. They have won it. And you see, the worst part for NIP is they played it twice and lost it both times.
Yeah, this is the 3rd time they get to play it. So they play it 3 out of the 7 possible times. It's already a 40-ish%.
3rd time's the charm, right?
Yeah.
They'll get it this time. At least it's not like a wacky map that they're just trying to push continuously. It's a classic that they should know very well. They should be very good at. They've just been struggling in the current... I say current meta, but when you have operator bans, you don't necessarily have as much of a meta. Although in this case, as you can see from the ban rates at the beginning
we even
of the show,
have a meta game.
There's a little bit.
Operator bans. So
yeah.
We always settle into that. It is only human nature to go back to something that is something you're comfortable with, and it's to be expected.
Yeah. We'll see how Oregon goes, though. In this case, it does favor Immortals, not just off of the standings, but also of their record on it. But let's see what you guys thought in terms of this. I know Ninjas in Pyjamas probably going to get a lot here anyways. Not sure I would agree with that.
I would have put it a bit closer Immortals' side. But
nonetheless, Ninjas in Pyjamas are in a little bit of a comeback attempt. But attempt being the key word.
Good point.
I mean, they're not in last place like Black.
Fair enough.
So
fair enough.
They were down there before. They've come up a little bit, but Immortals, I mean, have at least shown some stuff because they won once. But to be fair, Ninjas in Pyjamas have shown how to lose it twice at least. So there's that. There's plenty of odds to review for that.
At least they now know how to not play it.
That's right. 2 whole matches to not play like again. We'll see though. Obviously the bomb sites will factor in and things like that in terms of the strategy. But with the 3 bomb site thing now, this is definitely a case where I really hope they have a good 3rd bomb site.
Yeah. Like Tower hasn't worked for everybody. Yeah. The only team that really has made it happen, I want to say, is Vitality, I guess.
And this is a case where Ninjas in Pyjamas are starting on defense, too. So they've got to have that in mind. Now, of course, that's assuming they even win 2 of the bomb sites. If they're really struggling again, then maybe a 3rd bomb site's the least of their problems. But either way, you really got to have a good, especially after you've lost this map twice. That is so important that you have a 3rd one. Not just in case you're forced to a 3rd one, but so you can switch to a 3rd one early and throw them off. We've seen that do that from some teams. Vitality is notorious for that because they'll switch bomb sites even if they win or lose it.
Every bomb site is viable if you're Vitality.
And that's the mentality that Ninjas in Pyjamas need to have going into this to really throw off Immortals because they've played it once and won it once. So they have the strategies for at least the 2 dominant bomb sites down very well. So either way, a lot of speculation and hope here for Ninjas in Pyjamas because hope is fading quickly as this is the last play day for first half, as we've mentioned probably a zillion times already.
Yeah, and we really need to drive this home because I've seen today on its own, I've had like 4 posts on Reddit that are like, when does the Paris Major start? August 13th. That's the group stage. So make sure you tune in because Pro League will be off until September 11th.
Yeah.
Today is the last day of Pro League in this half until we come back in September.
So if you tune in tomorrow, you just get to watch VODs. Just click on the videos tab.
Good point. There's other shows that we're doing, but specifically today is the last day, and in 2 weeks' time, we'll be in Paris. So August 13, 14, 15 is the 3 group stage days. 16th is a day off, and then 17, 18, and 19 are the 3 days where public is allowed in, and we're going to have a full house in Paris. It's the Exposition Park at Porte de Versailles in a very nice part of Paris, actually. It's not too bad. I've been there a few times. There's some nice parks to go to.
One can hope, especially when it's Ubisoft headquarters, right? It's a big deal.
Ubisoft headquarters are on the other side of the city, actually.
Well, I didn't imagine they were in the arena.
A 50-minute drive, I think. Yeah. I think the players are not staying too far away from that. I don't know.
Well, either way, it should be fun. Should be exciting. And so, of course, when you're watching this, keep in mind that Immortals are going, so pay attention to how they play.
And NIP as well.
Yeah, so both of these guys, hopefully not revealing too much, but again, they can't get each other in the early regions. We already drew all the teams last week, so you can see what the groupings are online. Hopefully we have them somewhere up on the ESL site. Not entirely sure if those are up, but they're definitely not too hard to find in terms of what we drew in terms of the groupings last time.
I believe there's an official blog post on Rainbow Six.
There you go.
There's Reddit, CGG, there's Liquipedia as well. Everything is posted everywhere.
Yeah.
R6 Pro League on Twitter, ESL, Rainbow Six on Twitter, Rainbow Six Game on Twitter. Everybody has literally posted this everywhere.
Yeah.
You cannot miss it. And the group, especially that Group D,
Yeah.
is looking pretty hot. Rogue
be
is
fun.
in there. You know,
Spicy.
FaZe Clan is in there
Yeah.
as well. It's gonna be.
It'll be spicy.
It's actually really cool that Group D has Rogue, FaZe Clan, IDK, and Orglis, because that is, for a lot of people, the current group of death.
It'll be interesting, though, given Orglis's recent changes, so you never know. That could shift things a little bit, or somehow it could be even better.
All right, well, we'll see as we get ready to head into our matchup. NAP versus Immortals on Oregon, the map that everybody goes to, all the big teams go to die.
See what the bans come out like here. Those we know these impact it quite a bit. Maybe we'll get a blitz ban because we were talking about with Julio earlier, and it is a high ban here for Brazil. We'll see though. Ninjas Pyjamas first to ban. Probably not going to be the ones to ban that blitz.
Nope. And just watch them do it.
Maybe Glass. Yeah, that would be. I mean, we didn't didn't help Evil Geniuses when they banned their own operators, but nope.
What?
That's
Whoa!
I think that was at 0% ban rate before. Now
That is
no longer the case.
Literally the first time.
Padding the stats.
All right, will be interesting for our stats team. Our second attacker ban, will it be Lion? Yes, there you go. I'm expecting Lion.
Blitz still on the table then.
Yep.
I think we know what one of these two is going to be.
It makes a lot of sense. If Nip banned Lion, then it made it much easier for Immortals to just go for the shield ban. But there you go, Defender. Smoke!
What
Oh,
is-
think of time! Let's go!
What is happening here? Smoke ban on Oregon. This should be, for these
Echo
teams
or
especially,
Maestro or Mira?
this is, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Should be interesting of a match. I mean, we'll see, though. Like, we don't know how these guys are going to play it out, but they've got to have a strategy in mind. Immortals, the favored team here, at least in terms of current stats. Definitely have some little trick up their sleeve if they're banning that. Could
You
mean
ban
some
the
faster
smoke.
plays.
You ban the smoke, shield play becomes so much stronger.
Yeah.
And Maestro, which means Mira's available. Oh my god. Is this going to be like Blitz, Finca, Ying, Capitao?
That would be around, that's for sure. Throw in a Dokkaebi to
And a
Lions ban
Dokkaebi?
too.
Oh my... Oh
Just
no.
just to make them sit on site crying.
Oh no.
Are you gonna be okay?
Jackal tracked... Well, not Lion in this case, but flashed and yinged and smoked out. And
I mean, that's not the strategy they're
Blitz
going for right now, but that's definitely a possibility.
IQ being played, though, by Cyber. I'm actually surprised.
There's the blitz. Oh, the Capcan. Are you gonna? No, you got to be six picking that. Usually, you do not obviously pick that. You're gonna six pick something like that. So, I imagine Psycho gonna switch off. Yeah, probably the Jaeger. I would think. You want to stop those nades for sure.
Unless he sticks it, and it's a mind game.
Yeah, that's too strong of a
Oh,
thing.
Valkyrie,
Jaeger,
so
though.
no Jaeger.
The blitz though also a fake.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out this round. But no smoke is definitely going to put a lot more work on the Echo as well as the C4 operators. They are bringing 3 C4 operators potentially.
Personally, I would have exchanged that IQ for
Defenders,
Capitao.
protect your bombs from being defused by
It's
attackers.
just such a good pick to have, especially when you're expecting laundry. Hell, even if you're pushing into kid storms.
It depends on your attack strat though, where you're planning to attack from. Like let's say you are trying to push from the B side, for example, from tower. Knowing if there's any kind of utility there that's going to stop you could really be useful. Not to mention, it is going to be good. Okay, so think about this, right? No smoke, so everything's on the Echo drone, right? What can spot the Echo drone?
Ah.
So there are some strategies here. I mean, it's a case where, again, it's going to depend a lot on C4s. Unfortunately, they don't have anything the attackers can really do against C4 per se. A Montaigne, I suppose, but that is not a ton you can do. They are going to be playing a bit of meeting hall defense here, and that's where the mute jammers are definitely going to help with that, along with the window.
Locate and defuse a bomb.
They've got their rotate set up as well.
Diffuser has been dropped.
So this should be pretty good defense for the most part, but it is going to get pushed fairly quickly. Cyber taking control of Garage very fast Obviously having spotted on his drone that no one is going to be playing in there, so he's just trying to secure that as early as possible.
Yeah, make sure that he wastes no time on it and then falls back off of it. Novi's just looking into the school, and no one will get spotted just yet. PZD and Kamikaze are playing in the meeting hall, so they're going to be playing in the back with C4s.
Well, again, that's a C4 that's not available on the site itself, though, so Kamikaze needs to make sure he stays alive long enough to rotate, if need be, because without the smoke, C4s are that much more important. You get 3 smokes on smoke, or you get 3 C4s across 3 operators that need to stay alive, so definitely interesting play banning that smoke, though, for sure.
Wag even opening a rotation hole late into the round here with the Supernova.
I like these melee holes as well for him to be able to play through that table, something we see fairly often. Melee holes definitely being very important these days.
Yeah, we've been seeing quite a few of them actually, and they've done quite a bit of work.
Unfortunately, in that case, mostly against Kamikaze.
A lot of damage being done from the top, but Novi's will get taken down.
Ooh.
PZD will stick the meeting hall for just a second as Kamikaze will fall back.
Important part there, Kamikaze falling back. Maybe he resets, maybe he doesn't, but the C4 staying alive there, as I mentioned earlier, is more important than PZD staying alive up here. Does have Psycho as well, though. Psycho, another C4 on the board that needs to consider rotating, but at least he's trying to cover his teammate. They're trying to hold meeting hall for a really long time if they can help it. He did get the reset as well. Looks like Kamikaze back to 50 HP.
Psycho is coming in to help out as well from the backstage, as Julia will open things up a bit more for potential C4 throw or rotate down into the site, and they will put Kamikaze back on that 50% health. Diogo firing into the back of the mirror window. Won't get anything on PZD, still playing in the meeting hall. Is now falling back. Look at the amount of time that's been wasted. NIP playing this so calm and collected. But Julio's out of position in the closet and can't really go back in there. These flashes and such are being thrown his way. Information is going to get relayed in by the Yokai. As no, it gets taken down. A greedy repositioning there from the Echo of Wag.
There's one C4.
That's Julio to get one. He gets the second one as well on to the Yogo. And PZD comes in from the back. Yoke trying to hip fire his way with the SMG-11. And unfortunately, that does not really work. What is the what?
All right, well, that was too little too late. That worked finally. That was the weirdest fight. How did he not die in all those times he saw him directly? It's through a soft wall.
And then he fires a headshot through the soft wall. What?
An oddball fight, to say the least.
Oh, boy.
But nonetheless, a very effective defense by Ninjas in Pyjamas, who knew how to play it as effectively as possible. Kamikaze probably should have gotten killed earlier, but he did manage to get out, reset just fine. They held the meeting hall for a long time. The repositioning of the Echo drone, though, as you said, a little bit greedy. He had an interesting position, but too much of a lip from that meeting hall door. It was a bit of a mistake trying to just stick that there and not have a more ideal position for it. But as we talked about, they did have the IQ to spot that, and it's going to be a case where that could be a problem for you. They are going to bring the Jackal this time. So they are looking to deny those roamers a little bit longer, or at least get some positions on where they're going to have to deal with them. They know it's going to be dorms this time because they did win laundry, so they have some idea how to adjust and adapt for that. So it's going to be potentially them clearing a lot more effectively of the downstairs with the Jackal, especially since they let's say they take tower early, they can push down into the basement, look for any footprints, call that clear early or not. We'll have the Echo drone again. Obviously, no smoke, though. Does make this harder to defend.
Yeah, being banned definitely does hamper Wag, who's usually a player that plays on that now.
Well, he plays on that even when the bomb site's downstairs.
Yeah. And he'll play it upstairs in the master bedroom. It's a bit of an oddity here, but still. Julio setting up a... I have to question the mirror window setup, as I always do, because usually there you'll set up a crouch level mirror window to hold from the white stairs and look into the site. It's a soft wall. You can vault over it to contest. The hard wall gives you a lot of information, especially if you open the wall next to it. But because there's the bunk bed in front of it, it's not an easy position to either contest your opponents coming in from the closet or from the main hallway or chuck any utility into them.
Yeah, we'll see how it gets played on the actual attack as well, because depending on where the attack comes from, that may or may not work. Let's say they're not pressuring the A window and they're trying to push from the master bedroom. It'll make a difference versus whether or not they push the A window, or even B windows, which the attacker setup doesn't really scream a B window take on kids. Diogo will spot PZD, but at least gets the drone. Now he's just going to contest kitchen, which is the important part of this. And of course, as typical, Diogo is going to try and push that, but he doesn't have you know, anything to open up those reinforced walls. And a failed throw by Kamikaze. Going to try it again. There we go. Important to know when they're rounding that corner if you want to play those white stairs.
We'll see the Alice still playing in the back as the standard mirror window has been set up.
Bomb located by
And
attacker.
you'll have just, you know, that one just looking in from the kids' dorm into the main site on A. PZD is still playing in the kitchen. He can rotate back whenever he wants and play from meeting hall or go back up top, as there is a rotation hole that's set up by NIP for him to move back into if he does not want to stay in the attic for too long.
Psycho playing a little fast and loose by these windows here, hoping someone's going to be repelling for the cross, but no one's really doing that yet. So he's actually kind of wasting a potential roam by sticking it up here, although that's going to let Julio fight some more angles that are downstairs. Navi's in the meantime getting the kill onto the Echo. That is a really good early kill.
That's a great start. We'll lose a ton of utility here. At least the big anchor for the site. C4 getting thrown from Julio, though. Connects and takes down the Thermite, the only hard destructor. The second C4 will get thrown in from Psycho. No, not just yet. That's Diogo throwing up his Gushmots. And there you go, Psycho with the C4 onto Yuk. That's now the Jackal eliminated. Novi's running into the site and straight into Kamikaze's T5 from below Cyber. We'll get one with the AUG. He finds the second. 2 headshots. He takes down the last 2 players. They're coming in from below. Mira will move up to contest the white stairs up to Cyber now to try and get a 4K. Damage has been done to Psycho, but he's still alive. No more C4s to be used, and utility will get spotted there. Unfortunately, that's the Echo drone. It does give information still, but won't be able to do much with it. The mirror window has already been opened, and a quick shot from Julio to net the 3K in the round. Cyber will go down, and that's NIP very much on the board.
Definitely using their C4 effectively. We saw Julio get a kill with it last round as well as this round, and then a second kill. So that is, maybe smoke is not something they needed so much, considering how effective they are. And that's something we used to talk about a long time ago, was how this was a region that depended more on C4s than smoke. This is actually the region that used to sometimes play Laundry without smoke. So if any region's going to do it, this seems like the one to pull it off. And these Ninjas in Pyjamas guys, not too unfamiliar with doing exactly that, as we have seen them do the many moons ago. Immortals, though, seeming to struggle, and now it is on to tower. Now, we were talking earlier about how Ninjas in Pyjamas need a good third bomb site if they make it that far. Seems like they are so far with 2 successful defenses. This could be where we finally see Immortals get around. They've got to predict that tower is going to be likely the bomb site here, though, knowing that the first 2 rounds were won on Laundry and Dorms. And kitchen dining is very difficult to defend, as we saw earlier today as well. But we'll see how this goes down. They do at least have some decent utility for attacking this. They have the IQ to be able to spot any of the gadgets set up, especially the Yokais, as well as any of those Grismont mines. And then Black Eyes is definitely going to be one. Remember when we saw before, the struggle with dealing with those Black Eyes outside, if you don't look for them, how problematic that can be on those repels, especially for runouts from dining. But in this case, I think they could spot quite a bit, and then Thatcher a lot of it, which I think will definitely help, especially those goo mines when they try and go in for a push. But they probably do want to clear a bit more of the map first. We'll see. Julia, though, with 5 kills on the board already. That is more than the entire combination of Immortals combined. Like, I can say combined twice, but you get what I mean. Ooh, interesting windows set up from the rear stage there.
Tower is always this interesting site to see because teams kind of alternate between holding the meeting hall quite heavily to just playing on the other side of the map, holding around in Armory and in the Kids Dorm. But Immortals really have to clear the opposite end of the map before they push in. That's why you see Cyber immediately getting up top in the small tower, and Diogo will soon follow. Because if they don't clear this top floor, it'll make things a lot more complicated. However, taking down PZD and Psycho will make things so much easier for Immortals getting onto the tower itself, but there's still a Yokai to play with. Oh, what a shot.
That's the first of your checklist.
And that was just off of information.
Yeah. Good use of that Echo drone there. Not helping, just pinging. Either way, though, Kamikaze's still live up here as well, so they definitely want to hold this top floor really, really badly.
Julio even setting himself in the attic so he can contest through the rotation hall. The Ella is very difficult to push away from this position, and Cyber will get one onto Kamikaze. PZD is tagged quite heavily as well. The Legion being removed will make things a lot easier to push into, and you can tell NIP not super comfortable with the site.
At this point, they might want to consider just pushing the site and let the other guys that are off-site hang off-site and just let them force for a retake. Because you've got sheer man advantage at this point.
Cyber is going to lose the drone here. Julia will get one onto Yuk, though. It's a start for NIP, but only the Thatcher. Diogo coming in. Novis with another one on a Julio. Wag last alive as he rotates in through the tower stairs. The mirror window is going to get played against him as he's spotted now moving up. He will have another one to play around with, but unfortunately, he's got to deal with 4 players that are so hungry for a kill because Immortals want their first round here on the board. Diogo getting the last one for Immortals. Wag will go down. That's a 2-1, still in the favor of NIP, but Immortals definitely showing they can deal with this attack pretty easily onto the tower.
It was pretty nice how well they were able to pick apart that roam, though. You had 3 to 4 people defending each other on that roam. They were able to pick them apart one at a time without really any trades coming out from the defenders. Unfortunately, in this situation, though, definitely was not their bomb site. But again, that's not a surprise. We mentioned before that that's a difficult one to do, so not the worst here, but that does give Immortals their first point, and now it's only 2-1. So Immortals, mathematically at least, have half as many points as NIP, but it's still going to be a bit of a comeback. But it does seem like we could see a situation where we see a lot of defense rounds won by NIP, and then it switches sides, and we see Immortals win a bunch of their defense rounds. But it's a case where maybe NIP have finally learned from losing this map twice how to defend it outside of, I suppose, tower.
Yeah, I wonder what it'd be like if they actually went for kitchen. Now,
Yeah.
if they lose tower, they have to play another site so they can go back down onto laundry.
Yeah.
Because they played that first, and then they went to kids' dorms, then they went to tower, and then you could just reset and go through, even if you won. So that could technically give them a 4-1 half.
It definitely is possible if they can win all their defense rounds. Like I said, though, I think once the side switch, we'll probably see that dominance switch as well, just because the way these teams are playing. But that being said, we could see NIP just finally figuring out what they're doing wrong, work a little bit better. Obviously, that tower defense was not a good demonstration of that, but that was also Immortals with a very good set of attack in terms of just, like I said, picking them off one by one without trades. When you have that many people stacked up in such a small area, there absolutely should have been trades.
Yep.
It's a case where you're covering for each other. That's the point of covering for each other, is to get the trades.
Look at the attic. There were pretty much no reinforced walls in and around it except for one. And that was the one with a mirror window set on top of it, looking in from the tower through it. It was not used at any point in time in the matchup.
No, they were playing in sandbags instead.
Yeah, with no reinforced walls.
Yeah.
You're going to get shot easily. All it takes is just a drone to pick you up and just spray through the wall. That's exactly what happened with Thatcher.
Here's my biggest problem with that. If they had just gone and said, you know what, there's everyone outside of the site except for Echo, let's just take the site. If they just popped open some windows and just took tower at that point, that window would have been working for them. Looking back into the attic, because the attic and downstairs through meeting hall would have been their only 2 rotations. If they controlled that attic, they also control meeting hall to an extent. And it's like, good luck. They're going to have to go all the way through the basement if they want to rotate up at the tower, and that leaves it easy stairs control. So overall, I feel like, as you mentioned about the setup, the lack of reinforced walls, that was not a good setup at all. It was very much, let's hope we could just fight them off as long as possible and then rotate back to site. They just got picked apart before that.
Hell, even the walk-in closet from the main bedroom had no reinforced walls, which would have been super easy. I mean, you're playing on tower. You're not really going to reinforce many walls.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of your reinforcements? Use them. Use them, dude.
Yeah.
It's free utility. It's right there. It is given to you. You have 10 reinforcements. Use it to your advantage. If you're going to roam on the other side, it means that most of your defense is set around there. And the minimum that you want to do is burn so much time that a push onto the tower is held on its own with an Echo.
I feel like at the very least they should have reinforced, let's say, they're looking down towards the dorms through the attic, the left wall.
Yes.
And so they could have used those sandbags more effectively because they wouldn't have had to try and peek that. You saw how open it was, and not to mention then you funnel them through that. so let's say they take all of dorms and you manage to get a couple people out, then they're funneled through the one side of the wall instead of being able to shoot through both sides and make sure that you're punished completely. I mean, yeah, you have the window to be able to look at that side from back there, but you can't do anything with that because if you lean out, you're going to hit the sandbags. For the most part, you can't really peek effectively around it. So overall, I know we're being mean with their defense, but on a site that's not great anyways. But
really, that's...
It just goes to show that maybe this map, they have some really good holds on some of the other sites that are depending a lot on C4 throws, especially since Immortals banned smoke against them. But I don't know.
There's some mistakes that just should not happen.
I feel like I said, once Immortals is on defense as well, I think they'll have a good, strong defense because you don't ban smoke unless you have a good plan.
Yeah.
One would hope, but then again, we've seen Boot Camp do some odd things where they ban operators without a good plan. So hard to say.
We'll get to see Boot Camp playing in their final matchup of the day.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Boot Camp versus Pain. Pain have been on the rise, actually. I'm quite interested in seeing what they have in store for us, especially after their matchup last week.
Yeah, they've been playing pretty good. I expect a good game out of that because Boot Camp have had some real on and off games. They've had ones where they get completely crushed and one where they do the complete crushing. So it's like they're very hit and miss depending on the map, it seems. So we'll see where they get taken to because that could be a big factor in Boot Camp just getting, like I said, crushed or not.
Pain, I was watching this today. Pain versus Nip was a pretty interesting matchup yesterday. But we'll go back into our matchup here under Immortals versus NIP on Border as we continue on. Now we should have everything set up to go for round number 4.
Hopefully this will be a round that goes a bit better than the last one for NIP.
Tutto tranquilo. Very
there we
good.
go.
Everything is fun. Everything is tranquil. Calm. Alright, we'll see. They're going to switch away from the Blitz.
Yeah, where's that Blitz? Stick it this time. If it doesn't get banned, just use it. We'll see though once Immortals is on, or I mean NIP's on attack. I think there's a good chance we'll see it. But nope,
Laz.
the other operator that wasn't
Laundry.
banned, and then the mute.
With no Glass on Laundry when there's no Capital. I see. Again, you mentioned the IQ.
There's some smoke to be had, but yeah.
Yeah.
Attackers need to
But
locate
the big
and
difference
defuse
between the
bombs.
two is that Capital, you can use the crossbow bolt to send it directly onto specific parts. You can control where you can send those smokes. Whereas with the smoke grenades on other operators, your momentum also dictates where that smoke will.
Absolutely, and I would hope that's something you practice, especially people that are used to being grenade operators should be pretty well practiced on that because you really got to control where those grenades bounce, even more so than say flashbangs or some of the other ones. We'll see though whether or not they can rely entirely on those C4s as they had in the previous rounds because it worked out pretty well last time. I imagine though if you were Immortals and you could shut down Julio, this attack becomes so much easier. Oh, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, so he does that just so he doesn't have to run out and destroy the...
Smart. Save some time.
Yeah, this is actually much better. You know, for people that know what just happened, usually when you reinforce the wall and then set up the mirror window, you still have to get out the way and shoot
the edges
because they kind of restrict your field of view by 5 to 10 degrees in total, 5 on each side, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't measured it out. I left my protractor at home. But if you just shoot it out first and then reinforce, then you don't have to deal with that. That's why you saw the shots going up first.
Good time saver. We'll see, though. Obviously, plenty of time left in the round. They are looking to do a top floor take first, which, of course, is the way you should do it. Now, normally, this is a case where if this was... if smoke was still allowed, chances are WAG would be upstairs, just off of what we usually see with some teammates. But instead, he's going to be on the Echo downstairs. So it's definitely different than what we usually see.
Yeah, I think a roaming Echo would not be...
probably not as great of an idea.
No.
We do have some counter roam, of course, here, coming from Navi's. Although he could go with a phone call before he goes to push, and there it is. So that way, when he pushes in through the barbed wire, potentially, he will have a little element of surprise. Unfortunately, he did not capitalize on that information and catch him when he was in the middle of actually disabling his phone. And there we go, punished for it. Nice job, PZD.
The peek out to get the kill. And now it's up to the Zofia who gets Goomined and also Gizmoted from her sister. And this time it's Ella, the younger sister, who will win out in the rivalry.
Oh, Glass, come on.
The hand is spotted, but Yuk does not want
good
him
restraint,
bait.
though, in a way, though, like because it doesn't give away his position just yet. Could get him to repeat again.
I see a lot of IQ players that will have a suppressor on their pistol. because it doesn't really give away your position too easily, I guess.
Usually you don't care that much because you're going for the pistol for damage, but if you're going to be shooting like echo drones and things like other gadgets, definitely, yeah, it makes a difference because damage doesn't count on those.
Exactly.
They're all 1 HP basically, so absolutely a smart strategy choice.
You see Cyber's trying to use the mirror window as well to his advantage, but he's afraid of somebody rotating in from below and contesting in the meeting hall. As PZD's in the back, but they're just trying to corner him off. Cyber moving in as he kind of forgoes the bush, and of course, there's you need to set up a claymore from the back. Psycho from above in the armory even. No one from Immortals managed to clean up the defense from above, and that's one to get the kill onto Psycho and even get the snipe on the Yokai drone. But look at the amount of time left here, Devin. 12 seconds on the clock. It's a trade. Cyber against PZD. And now it's all up to 1. Kamikaze finds the kill. That's now an extra round on the board for NIP, who are up 3-1.
Well, like
4-1 at the end of the half would definitely give NIP a huge advantage.
Definitely possible. Likely to see that here, although, again, we could see the flip on the other side, but maybe not. Maybe our Immortals are having an off day on this map. But it seems like the defense has been very, very effective from Ninjas in Pyjamas so far. It's a bit surprising how effective it's been. I mean, maybe somehow banning Twitch really helped. I mean, can't imagine what it is that's not really working out here for Immortals. But they're getting picked apart quite a bit outside of that tower. We'll be going to dorms again, where, of course, they have won previously. So they've won everything but tower so far. And if that streak continues, it goes into the second half with a 4-1, which is a pretty big lead because all they have to do is win 1 round to guarantee a tie minimum. However, Ninjas in Pyjamas do need a lot more than a tie. They really need to win it out. There's an interesting 6th pick there over to Buck, and then Bandit as well. Or nope, Jaeger. He's going to change it out. Now, we were talking earlier about they probably should bring that Jaeger, especially for some of these bomb sites. Just because, and this is a good one because it does counter that Buck a little bit. In terms of those grenades.
It's because Dorm, if you don't have a Jaeger, you're kind of shooting yourself in the
a
foot.
lot of windows and other areas to nade very effectively. We'll see, though. It was I mean, I don't know if you necessarily need a 6-pick Jaeger. That's not going to be a huge surprise. But either way, that will definitely hurt the Ying play from Yuke as well, potentially.
Yeah, and of course, you'll see a reinforcement in the shower. Not something we've seen a ton of, but...
Wow.
Yeah, this is after the rehost, by the way, we'll remind you.
Yeah, they haven't only gotten 2 kills on Immortals.
They definitely have not. Imagine winning a round off getting only 2 kills.
And it's definitely a little confusing because the score itself goes back to normal because of the rehost system that's available now, but you can't rehost with the scores for the individual players. So, unfortunate, but that is the situation as it stands. Can you imagine how long it would take to rehost and put in all the players' scores as well?
Oh my god, no.
As fun as that would be, that's, yeah.
I don't know what kind of... Your description is fun. It's very different than mine, Devin.
It's the ironic kind of fun. Like paying your taxes kind of fun.
Oh. Yeah, I like paying money. It's always great. You know, when it goes in the negative, goes below the threshold.
Speaking of below the threshold, there goes PZD early, and he's been one of the important defenders. So this round actually already going fairly well for Immortals. I mean, that's not like a key operator necessarily, but a good early kill, and that is going to be map control they're starting to establish. I imagine he was probably down in kitchen again, as it looked like we saw they were pushing through a little nice little tap hole down into the kitchen.
Yeah, well, we saw the amount of damage that the Ella did last round.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's...
Good bucking from underneath as well, as that is Cyber's first time bringing that buck, and he's opening up a lot of that floor to make that white stairs much harder to hold.
And because the Ella was shot down, the stairs are going to be much more difficult to hold for the defense, so they can't really afford to put an extra body on there, and any push from Immortals, which you know might be up to the Buck or to the Dokkaebi later on, will make things a lot more complicated.
Yeah, definitely going to depend on the Legion Jewel Mines, but the window getting popped already here. Defense starting to slowly fall apart, but only a minute and a half left here. Psycho is very, very far off sight at the moment. May need to start rotating back soon.
He's maybe waiting for information from his teammates to peek out and get a kill. There we go. He has the information himself. Go for the tap, and there's nobody here. Why did you do that?
Well, I guess open it up with
you have the camera.
Right? Yeah, well, you know, he's just having fun.
He sees no one, yet taps it anyways.
Well, I mean, this sets it up for when there's no one around to hear it. But in the meantime, Cyber using those holes he set up downstairs with a nice shot upwards into Julio's face. Again, not looking great for Ninjas in Pyjamas to take a 4th round as Diogo takes down Wag. Kamikaze falls next. Psycho, last man left alive against 5.
And he's got a couple of rounds left in the magazine. Will be forced to go for the reload on the MPX. Candelas will get thrown into the back as the call will come in as well. He's blind. He's being called. His mom's on tap. She's asking why he's so late for dinner. And he's going to try to find the angle up above against Diogo. But no, the Zofia with a much easier angle to deal with. Upstairs will get the shot. And there you go. That is the round. 3-2. The advantage still for NIP. But it was a pretty swift one from Immortals.
A 1-point advantage is not as big a deal as a 4-1 is such a different beast because of the tie situation in this, because of lack of overtime. Going into it with a 4-1, as I said earlier, makes it so much easier for them to lock up a guaranteed 1 point that this is much, much better position for Immortals to be in. We'll see how their defense goes, though. If their defense is terrible, then I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what kind of point difference you have as that turns into a loss. But
yeah, theoretically.
Yeah. They're going to start on dorms. Now, again, they're the ones who banned smoke, so it's no surprise they would not prefer to go down to laundry. So we will yet to see what their strategy is for that. But they are, of course, bringing the Echo as well. Julio going to bring that blitz. Now, I'm wondering if he's thinking they're going to be downstairs just because he usually plays that blitz for laundry pushes. But it's still effective on dorms. It's not a terrible idea as well. So could go either way. But that is something we were hoping to see from him since it was not banned. So this should be, as you said earlier, fun. My particular definition of fun. Not so much for Immortals. But they are going to have quite a bit of C4, of course, because they're going to be packing. Although in this case, it looks like only 2 C4 operators. So you'd think they'd have more given the lack of smoke, but either way, they have some other denial operators. They have the mute to be able to deny quite a bit, as well as the Echo drone, so not terrible.
Even the armory being impacted out.
Yeah, interesting.
Very, very interesting. Sometimes you'll see reinforced. Immortals are setting up to defend it here. There we go. Makes a lot of sense. If you're going to already invest the impact to open up the side of the wall. And Yoko is just going to go for... Okay, this is what we explained before. Instead of going what Julio went for, which is the reinforced wall with a mirror window, here it'll be a window on a soft wall. You
want that rotate so bad.
Yeah. You can blow it out. You can use it. And, you know, for some people that will be like, oh, what does Miller's talk about mirror window setups all the time? There's a reason. The Mira is banned so much because the entire defense is molded around her. And oh, my God, Julio! He gets the shot onto Cyber. Was that even a hip fire? That was beautiful.
I mean, it is a bummer to lose those grenades of Sledge early on. PZD's also been an effective fragger. But at least taking down Cyber early will help, and it's a 1-for-1 trade. You do get some map control, so not the worst, not the best, but it does give Ninjas in Pyjamas at least some early momentum here, getting a kill that early.
Yeah, it's definitely every single advantage you can use. It's definitely going to come back and help you out later in the round. Of course, keeping Julio alive is the main project here.
Does have those smokes as well to help for the actual push, along with Kamikaze, I imagine, bringing some as well. They still have grenades left on Psycho, so they're not completely out of grenades for a potential push here. And the Jaeger being dead means if there's any pocket ADSs, those won't get set up to stop those.
Oh, Psycho taking a lot of damage here, and you saw Julio. He loves to play Blitz so much. His Blitz shield has a Blitz shield on top of it.
Seems appropriate.
Oh, there you go. Go for the reset. Break your legs, just go back up to half health. I wish that's how it worked in real life.
Have you tried it?
Maybe in Paris.
All right. Well, good use of the spotting there. And that is 2 ADSs down, it looked like. If not, at least one of those was an ADS. So that's going to make Armory a lot easier to take, potentially. As Psycho would probably be the one to be using those grenades. Navi's drone managing to sneak up above the lip, though. We'll keep it alive a little bit longer. Not much longer, though.
There you go. That's the Yokai take it out, and well, that's Novi's out of play as well. Echo can't do anything just now, and finally Julio will get shot down, but Walk from behind coming in to finish off Diogo as they cornered him inside of the armory. Fortunately, the blitz has gone down, but Julio's already done more than enough work. 2 players are eliminated because of him. There's still C4s available, though, for Immortals, and those can definitely come back and make things a lot more difficult for NIP. They're definitely force multipliers, similar to how Echo functions with the Yokai.
There's one.
Before it's going to get thrown out. And the second one as well, as Yoko will find the kill onto Kamikaze. Drop him, and Psycho just running in, and even Wog running in at the... What are you doing?
They just threw away every bit of advantage they have, just right into Yuke's gun. They had advantage. What are you doing? Terrible misplay. You baited out one C4. Play careful at that point. Jumping in the window, just completely off timing, one at a time, feeding that vector. What a terrible attack at the end there. I mean, they had so much going for them with all the groundwork Julio did, and just threw it away. Just one of those misplays you were talking about earlier that were just mind-boggling from Ninjas in Pyjamas.
And that's the thing. It's not that they don't have it in them. It's that
it's like they gave up at the end of that round and said, just run it.
Everything works their way, and then we just run in front of two people that are looking at us.
Well, now it's tied, so any advantage that they had is now gone. Unfortunate. Still going to bring Julio on that blitz, potentially, assuming they don't switch off of him, but Navi's actually going to switch off. See what he goes for. Certainly not going to be a smoke.
Good point. Very good. Good observation.
Just to remind everyone, smoke not going to be played. Pulse, though. Interesting choice.
Logical.
The blitz is staying, though.
But you obviously can still scan. The IQ will get played as well by Psycho. So remind you that if there's a pulse and he has his heartbeat sensor out, so the IQ can spot him using it as long as being used. I wonder what Novi's will do. Now, there's multiple ways, obviously, of playing the pulse. You can use it to support your roamers. In Meeting Hall, you can use him to play from below and C4 as players are coming down from the stairs to go for a plant. You know, it's completely different play styles, but both are viable, which is why people play Echo more often than not now, because he's got Yokai that can do the plant denial and also help the roamers at the same time, because the Yokais are maneuverable and you get to them.
Definitely the case where they are very, very useful, and I think that's what makes him a bit stronger than Maestro in a few different ways. But nonetheless, Maestro being banned means Echo's just going to get played that much more, although not in this round, since, as you mentioned, Navi's switching off of it to the Pulse, which could be countered by Psycho. So he's going to have to be careful. Now, last round we did see PZD get taken out early, which was traded by Julio. Can't imagine that's going to repeat this round, so hopefully PZD will have a bit more of an impact. And hopefully whatever damage Julio does doesn't get undone by the end of the round, as we saw how effective he could be on the shield. And that's why we talk so much about Julio and Mav on their respective plays on Blitz are very, very strong. Oh, PZD, as I mentioned, is going to get taken. Unfortunate. A little bit of sloppy play in terms of not having someone else controlling the lobby at the meantime.
Yeah, there's no droning. Usually the lobby's open before you rush into the kitchen. You know, small decisions there that, if he had gone down, would have definitely been questionable.
There we go. That's Julio doing his work now. We'll see, though. We have a Meeting Hall Pulse, which is going to be able to at least call out information safely from Meeting Hall. But he bails off.
He runs away.
See ya. He's going to go back downstairs to site, though, which is not a terrible idea. We saw how effective Zig was for Pulse from site. Interesting peek here from Diogo, who gives a bit away by shooting at the garage door. That was a bit of a mistake. He had some potential advantage there. Threw it away by that pre-fire. I like these little peek holes, though. Nice idea. That might work out in his favor, because they know he's on the other side, and they might try and contest him. But Psycho, nice early kill in an obvious, and that's exactly what you're talking about. That counterplay against that Pulse. See ya, Pulse.
So they use the utility to their advantage, as Psycho is able to detect his rival downstairs and get the shot to take down the Pulse. Julio will get tagged with goo mines, but at this point, it's a great start from NIP in the round. Drones will get set up to hold the back, as you need to make sure you don't get flanked from the Meeting Hall. Julio will try to move in. The smoke grenade will get thrown. But will the C4 be used just yet? The Yogo moves in, and the drone from PZD should have spotted him as Psycho gets one more onto Cyber. The Jaeger now eliminated, so fights in the Hall, and against the Hall will be much more difficult to go through. And Wog will go down. Nobody baiting out the C4. Oh, the Yogo! What a flick BZD going down as Yuk will get one more. Kamikaze on the floor with a 3v1. The Psycho on his own. He'll have to ace the round. Suddenly, the advantage just gets thrown away by NIP. Yet again, the Mira will have to contest against them as one. Get the final shot, and Immortals to put the fourth one on the board. What was that?
Well,
They spotted the Legion rotating in.
it was a nice flick, but the follow-ups shouldn't have happened. So, I mean, first off, you had Julio watching the hatch, who can't actually do anything about that C4 throw. So he's in a position where he can be like, by the way, you're about to die, Diffuser. Like, what is he going to do to counter that?
Run in. You're the blitz.
Yeah,
Run
exactly.
in. Contest the back of the laundry.
Exactly. It's a situation where he was not being effective at all, leading to the C4. I mean, yes, they got the defuse plant down, but at what cost? And they got so flanked from behind, it just, Immortals collapsed on them yet again. The end of the rounds are where Ninjas and Pyjamas are just falling apart. However, this is what we saw last time. 2 defense rounds in a row, and then on to tower, and that's where things start falling apart. So, like I said, once they switch sides, I figured we'd see a bit of a mirror. So far we are. This is the round that decides it for me. If Immortals win tower,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Ninjas and Pyjamas are going to take this. I mean, obviously, they're not going to get more than 1 point, then, guaranteed at that point, which Ninjas and Pyjamas really need those 3 points. So Immortals are setting themselves up here. If they can just do the best they can this round and try and stick it, not play it as sloppy as we saw from Ninjas and Pyjamas.
If Immortals win this, they tie in points against their opponents of Team Liquid.
Yep.
Now, I believe it still gives the advantage to Team Liquid in head-to-head. So Team Liquid should still have the first spot, but just by a sliver.
Yeah.
So Immortals definitely looking forward to the victory. NIP need it. It is an actual requirement for NIP.
Yeah. They got to get on that. Really interesting soft wall setup on the stage here. Assume he's going to set up a rotation, otherwise why set up soft wall? But there we go.
Yeah, you can vault through that into the tower again.
That's pretty dangerous of a soft wall, because that could definitely be used against you later. And Julio, a nice early kill, taking Novi's out. That means Gumine's not going to be played. Fortunately, Diogo couldn't do anything to stop or trade that, despite having 2 people upstairs. A nice T2 attack.
Yeah, and the Zofia can instantly take down that soft mirror window. So, congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah, played yourself. That's all right. This is tower, though. I'm not expecting most teams to win this. I do hope to see a good effort, though, from Immortals in trying to do so. They are at least sticking a lot more people on site, and most of the attack resultingly on site. So as long as they can control T3, though, it's going to be very hard for the attackers to take this.
Cyber will keep holding on to that basement, which is oh so important when you're really stacked up into the tower. Yuk setting up for a Mira jump out that we've seen oh so many times, and has done a great amount of work in the past. But we'll see how it ends up working here, or really maybe not.
Plenty of time left for Ninjas and Pyjamas to make this attack work, but they need to clear the top of that tower. And that is the real challenge. If they can do that efficiently in time, this is definitely going to be much more difficult to defend. There are ADSs doing some work, though, in the meantime. The deployable shield, I guess, helping a little bit. I'm not sure if that's going to be a big help. I mean, he's mostly using the bomb, depending on that. But PZD trading one back, or getting one back onto one is definitely working out here in their favor. And that's the top floor. Oh, unfortunately, can't finish that. There we go. C4 will do it.
Oh no, that's so much utility. That I'm really not a fan of that. And Yuk will go down anyways. The Wog getting the kill. Cyber will have to rotate around from the lobby. Will he catch him off guard? Yes, he will. Psycho off and away. And now a 2v1. Kamikaze last alive. Julio and Wag went down. And the diffuser's on the floor upstairs. Kamikaze will get the spot. But can he get the kill? No, he cannot. Diogo will save the day. And Immortals,
every round,
they take tower.
Every round, we see the same thing from their defense. They lose people at the beginning. NIP have the advantage. They're pushing the advantage. And all of a sudden, Immortals just sprout up and slaughter them every single time without fail. It is just... Ninjas and Pyjamas cannot close any rounds out on attack. They could get all the advantage in the world. It just seems like they don't know how to finish it. They don't know how to actually get the site, hold it. They can get the plant down even sometimes and cannot secure it. This is looking so bad for them because not only are they not getting 3 points, guaranteed at this point, leaving them further down on the leaderboard, but there's a very strong chance Immortals are going to take those 3 points and leave Ninjas in Pyjamas with the 0. This has been such a struggle for them. I mean, good defenses, but nonetheless,
Disappointment.
yeah, a little bit disappointing. They're going to switch hard
It's-
breachers at the last second there. We'll see if that works out for them, switching over to Thermite for this attack. Now, a Thermite switch out pretty much guarantees you're going to go for a master bedroom push, because you don't really get any other utility out of the Thermite doing that. I mean, I guess you can use it for armory, but
Yeah. But then again, you're not really going to use it on armory unless it's reinforced, right?
no. And usually the best way to play armory with stuff like that is to use a Bond on the wall and have like a Blackbeard or something that can work down the hallway. But
Oh yes. Oh, especially today. I was rewatching Year 1 Season 3 final with P-Dux and CTM, and this was the highlight. Blackbeard with 800 shield, 800 health shield, looking down from the
the whole hallway just becomes a death trap for every rotate. Because you cut off, they can't really even hardly rotate between kids and anywhere else, or white stairs. Or
The game has changed so
Yeah.
much within the past almost 2 years, actually.
One
since
thing
then.
hasn't changed. Most people still don't like Blackbeard. That hasn't changed too
point.
much. But yeah, nonetheless, not banned as much as you think, but yeah, definitely there are bigger fish to fry.
Right, in EU, he's been banned here and there.
Yeah,
Depending
a few times. Same with NA. Now, this attack going to be on Dorms again, which they have won. Both teams have done fairly well on Dorms, although there was one attack success on Dorms, and that was from Immortals onto that last round.
They're going to try to peek here against the Astro Julio, and Diogo will take damage,
Ooh, he
but
hits a
not get
hologram
shot
too.
down. Of course, if your opponents, if the attackers shoot into a Prisma, the players reveal to everyone on the team, not just to the alibi. So keep that in mind. Even though there are Prismas that are set up there, Diogo can still use those to his advantage in the armory.
This is a heck of an armory setup. They have 2 people watching that window, and look how much utility it cost them just to take out Julio. Or I mean, not Julio, take out Diogo, but Novi's trades it back 2 on a Psycho.
IQ eliminated, and Novi's still alive. There's still an impact grenade to be used, and 2 C4s in the back pocket of Immortals. Oh, what a shot! 1 finds the kill across the hall onto the armory. Definitely not an easy one to pull off with a holo. Wag trying to set up his exothermic charge in a way that the Mute Jammer does not affect it, as right now with the IQ being taken down and having that down manpower, it's no easy feat to find a position to set up the exothermic charge. Just the blast can actually hit the wall. And yeah, there you go. It'll have a small hole to look through, but not really a crawl position. He's trying to find the angle on the Mute Jammer. And there you go. He'll take it down.
That was such a misuse of utility, though, from Julio. Had he not tried to use all of his breach charges, or just to try and take out the one guy in armory, he would have had one to easily take out that Mute Jammer.
All right, Wag with so little health now, and Julio even tagged down. He'll have to move in and watch out for his opponents. There's 32 seconds left on the clock, though, and the Mute Jammers in the hallway will make things a bit more difficult for the attacking side. They need to gather information. As you see, Novi's already set himself in the dorm stairs, just waiting by white stairs for a eventual push from the attackers. This position, though, lying down, definitely can get you spotted, but it doesn't matter. He'll get one.
Oh, no.
Cyber with a team kill, but it might not matter as Kamikaze comes in. Cyber will get the last kill. NIP falling by the wayside as Immortals, oh my god, dismantle them in this final round. A 6-3. NIP failing to get a single round in the second half as they were sent to the attack. This is a scary Immortals. Now they are, if not mistaken, tied for first with their opponents at Team Liquid. Their head-to-head difference, though, will be the big difference maker. We'll see that in the standings in our break screen.
Well, that was unfortunate. A good start from Immortals, but not Immortals, but Ninjas in Pyjamas rather. But they could not close it out against Immortals at all in the defensive rounds from Immortals. I mean, I can't tell whether some of those were just Immortals playing well or just